Sunday special. It's Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. I got to get back into diecast racing again, and we will. We will once certain things have happened, and they're going to happen. But we're doing a Sunday special because, well, as you can see, money. Lots of money. That right there, that's not even a modicum of the money we're talking about. See, what you've got to understand, and I've told this to John, and I think John gets it, but I don't know if you trolls are getting it, or if anybody else is getting it. I am a microcosm of what is happening elsewhere, nationally, globally, whatever. All right. And we've seen this because of past, because it's a reflection of the past. Something happens to me, then something happens to the nation, or something happens to the state of Kentucky, or, but something happens to me, and then something happens to me, and they all correlate. They all correlate with one another. They're all seemingly interlinked. Going back to that idea of, hey, do I want to be a god? Fuck no. I don't want that kind of. I mean, keeping all that shit straight. No, fuck that. No, that's too much of a job for me. But anyway, so everything's all interrelated. So now you've got money there in your background. I do lots of it because we're talking about a lot of money. For me personally, we're talking about $32,141,500 and some odd change. That's what we're talking about for me. Now, that's a lot of money. But what I'm getting ready to show you is going to absolutely make your blood boil. Because although I'm getting mine back, you're losing yours. And let me get to my page here so I can show you, because showing is better than just telling. It's better to show you and let you see it. All right, let's go on ahead and be kind and share the screen. All right, here we go, boys. Yeah, there we go. In a major reversal, Speaker Johnson to introduce bill to send $17.6 billion more dollars to Israel amid border security fight. House Speaker Mike Johnson will introduce a bill to send $17.6 billion to Israel in emergency aid without corresponding spending cuts amid a fight over border security. The first standalone Israel aid package voted on and included IRS cuts, which of course received heavy backlash by Democrats and was rejected by Senate Majority Leader Chucky Schumer, the one that called for Gorsuch to be beaten to death. Anybody remember when Chucky Schumer, live on a stage outside, called for the beating of Gorsuch? Anybody remember that besides me? It's funny how he never went to jail over that, isn't it? Anyway, the new Israeli funding bill will exclude the IRS cuts. Breaking news in a reversal, Speaker Johnson will put a bill on the floor to send $17.6 billion to Israel with no corresponding spending cuts, a reversal meant to preempt the Senate's border and national security supplemental. Here's a letter from Johnson to the House GOP. All right. For Valentine's Day, the heavyweight champion of all robes. Okay, yeah, speaking of Valentine's Day, there's my Valentine's cakes. There's Valentine's Day. Yeah, Valentine's Day is coming. It's the 14th. This is the 4th. So we got 10 days. 10 days to Valentine's Day. I'm going to have a happy Valentine's Day. How about you? I'm going to have a really happy Valentine's Day. But anyway, let's continue. While the Senate appears poised to finally release text of their supplemental package after months of behind closed doors negotiation, their leadership is aware that by failing to include the House in their negotiations, they have eliminated the ability for swift consideration of any legislation, Speaker Johnson wrote in a letter to colleagues. Given the Senate's failure to move appropriate legislation in a timely fashion and the perilous circumstances currently facing Israel, the House will continue to lead. Next week, we will take up and pass a clean, standalone Israeli supplemental package. Okay. I think we made the point. Yeah, we did make the point because there's the end of it. There's the end. All right. So let me get rid of this. Let's see. Okay. So 17.6 billion more dollars to Israel. 43 billion to Ukraine. I just got off a AP Newswire where all the illegals, will get anywhere from $900 to $2,000 SSI. Yeah, you heard me right. $900 to $2,000 worth of SSI. Now you say, well, wait a minute, Vaughn, that's Social Security income. Where the fuck did they pay in it? Oh, they didn't. And Vaughn, isn't that the one thing that the IRS and fucking Corbyn keep screaming at you that you didn't pay in to get your SSI? Yeah. Yeah. One of the reasons, folks, that they refuse to give me my SSI is because they keep claiming I didn't pay in. But yet none of these damned illegals paid in. Why are they getting SSI? $900 to $2,000 SSI, folks. Google it. That's straight from AP News, the main newswire source. AP News, folks, is where all the other news organizations get their news from. AP is like a center hub, if you will, and then the other news casters disseminate that information. I'm sure you've seen those videos where CBS, NBC, ABC, everybody's saying all the same thing. Well, that's why, because they're getting it off the AP Newswire. All right. But yeah, so, the main reason, for years I've been trying to get SSI and can't get it. And the reason why is because every time I call them, well, you didn't pay in. Well, of course I did. I paid in. I was working 3 jobs a day in Ohio. 3 jobs a day. Landmark Ford, Carry Ford, and airtight windows. 3 jobs a day. 2 full times and a part time. I was working my butt off. What do you mean I didn't pay in? Then when I come down here, the first thing I did as soon as I got down here was get me a job in a factory working at Anvil. Funny how the trolls and haters never bring that up. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing how the goddamn YouTube trolls never bring that shit up? Isn't that amazing how that is? I wonder why that is, folks. Maybe people need to start asking serious questions like, hey, why did you guys ever mention the fact that he worked as soon as he come down to? And then when I wasn't working at Anvil, I laid carpet with a friend of mine. They won't tell you that either. Probably how I messed up my legs, to truth be known. But yeah, I laid carpet with a friend of mine. I worked a factory job at Anvil. Plus, I worked 3 jobs up in Ohio. And plus, I worked in the nursing homes. Not just my mother's, by the way. I also volunteered at Fort Hamilton Hospital in Hamilton, Ohio. Funny how the trolls never mention any of this, isn't it? Why? Because they have a narrative. The narrative is to make it sound like I'm some deadbeat fucker that never worked a day in his life. And then the fucking Frost goddamn attorney calls over to Corbyn and says, yeah, he don't deserve no SSI. He never worked. He didn't pay in. And of course, Corbyn's going to listen to the Frost lawyer because the Frost lawyer also happens to be a Kentucky congressman. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that interesting? He calls up the food stamp office, says, yeah, shut off his food stamps. I had to call a state supervisor to get my food stamps turned back on, folks. That's a fact. That's not my opinion. That's a fact. I'm over there starving to death in that single wide. I went from 250 pounds down to 218 pounds, folks. I literally was starving to death. Yes, I was. Well, Vaughn, isn't that attempted murder? Fuck yes, it is. But because he's a congressman, is he going to get away with it? Probably. Probably. But yeah, that's attempted murder. Fuck yes, it's attempted murder. Absolutely it is. But we're doing it within the auspices of executorship and such, Going to throw me out in 15 below zero temperatures. Folks, you know how long a human being lasts in 15 below zero? About 5 minutes. You become a human popsicle after that. You must find shelter immediately in those kinds of temperatures, or you will be a human popsicle. No ifs, ands, or buts. Did they know that? Of course they did. Of course they did. They had to. I mean, anybody can go online and find that information. Hey, how long does a human last in 15 below zero weather? About 5 minutes. I would have been the first Clay County human popsicle. So that's twice. Once with the food, once with eviction. That's twice. Seems like they want to kill me really bad, huh? Yeah, they do. But they got to do it the legal way, and the legal way ain't happening. Sucks to be them. And now I counteroffensive. Now I fight back. Counterpunching, as Trump calls it. So now that's exactly what I'm going to do. Now I'm tossing them off the Sester property, which they got by illegal means. For those of you that have actually studied real estate law, you'll find that manipulating someone into selling their property is illegal. It is not fucking legal. It is illegal. You cannot manipulate a person into doing something. That's illegal. Did James Arnold Frost manipulate Alice Helton into giving him the Sester property? Yes. Yes, he did. In fact, not only that, but they kicked me out of it. Folks, I was living on the Sester property at the time. I was living there. That was my home. And he comes over, he comes down here, he manipulates my mom with that stupid MK Ultra shit and gets her to kick me off the property. And then they come over there and you got to go right now. You got to go right now. You got to leave right now. And I'm like, well, let me get my ceiling fan out of the kitchen. No. You got to go right now. Because they knew they manipulated her. She'd been manipulated. Mom wouldn't have kicked her own son up out of his own property. No, she wouldn't have done that. What mother would have done that? Come on, use your brain, people. No mother would have done that to their son, okay? I mean, look at Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden's a piece of shit, but you notice Joe Biden and Jill Biden aren't saying one word against him. Why? Because that's their son. That's their son. Of course they're not going to say one thing against him. That's their son. Even though he's a piece of shit, they're still not going to say anything because that's their son. Likewise, my mother would not have kicked me off that property. No fucking way in hell. So he used that fucking MK Ultra mind control shit to get her to kick me off the get her to get me off the get her to kick me off the property. I want to make sure I said that right. But yeah. So now it's time for me to fight back. Now I'm punching back. And in the process, I'm going to get that Sester property back. I don't know if I can get Dad's stuff back or not because it was sold to a third party. Not sure how the legality of that works down here in Kentucky. Now in Ohio, I would be able to get that back. And then, of course, the party that bought it would be compensated. But here in Kentucky, they do things differently because they're a Commonwealth state. So I don't know how they would deal with that. I may not be able to get Dad's property back. We'll have to see. But in any event, I will get the Sester property. But either one way or the other. Either I can get it through the fact that they manipulated her out of it, or I can get it back through the fact that they've spent most of the $32 million and they'll have to give me the property to compensate. So either way, I'm getting the Sester property. Either way, the Frosts are going to have to get their happy ass back to Ohio, provided they don't go to jail first. So that's where we're at. And this is an open and shut case. He did walk into district court with a fraudulent document. There's no getting around that. And he can't feign ignorance. There's no way he can feign ignorance. He just can't. It's impossible. How are you ignorant over having a fake document in your hand? Plus, don't forget, they came into court with a fake eviction document too. And thank God Mom was still alive at the time. She said, well, I never signed that. So, what'd you come in with that for? I never signed that. I never authorized that. Oops. I can't understand why he didn't get arrested right then on the spot. Because that was an obvious forgery. Why didn't he get arrested? Why didn't his attorney at the time get arrested? I don't know. If I'd have walked into a court of law with a fraudulent document, I'd have been arrested immediately. But I want to do things the hard way. Everything's got to be done the fucking hard way. So, okay. Everything's got to be done the hard way. And like I said, James Arnold Frost has a history of manipulating my mother. He manipulated her into selling the family businesses out from underneath me. Now, get this. Think about this, okay? My father and my mother both are training me to run those nursing homes, okay? My father showing me how to run the boiler system, showing me the electrical system and, all that gobbledygook. And then mom is showing me, here's how you run the books. Here's how you maintain charts. Here's how you, check the patients every 2 hours, blah, blah, blah. All right. So my parents are teaching me, literally teaching me how to run that business. Not only that, but I was the one that spoke with the state of Ohio. When the state of Ohio would come in for inspection, guess who went with them? That would be me. I went with them. I went with them throughout the building. And they would inspect the patients. They would inspect the beds. They would inspect the walls, the floors. It's, literal white glove shit. And I went with them. We checked the charts. All the paperwork had to be just so. And so I was learning all that. And then out of nowhere, mom sells the family businesses to some fool in Columbus, Ohio that didn't even want them. We found out later. The guy in Columbus didn't even want the businesses. He said they were forced upon him by Alice, by my mother. Why? MK Ultra mind control. He manipulated her into selling the family businesses literally right out from underneath me. Vaughn, it sounds like this guy's got a vendetta. Fuck me, you think? You think he's got a vendetta? But it gets better, folks, because then he fucking goes to her again. He finds out, I don't know how the fuck he found out, but he found out that me and mom had an agreement. Now, you got to remember, this was years ago, okay? And at the time, my student loans were only $8,000. That was it, just $8,000. And mom absolutely hated my Rent-A-Center furniture. She absolutely despised it. And she said, look, if you take back this Rent-A-Center furniture, I will pay off your student loans. And I said, so I take back $12,000 worth of furniture and you pay off $8,000 worth of student loans. I said, that sounds like a fair deal to me. And so we agreed. Now, unfortunately, I didn't have anything in writing, sadly. But it was my mom, right? And I wasn't expecting somebody to go right behind me and fucking manipulate her like that. But he went right behind me and manipulated her into not paying off those student loans. So what happened? Well, the student loans ended up hanging over my head like a sword of Damocles. Couldn't get a job, couldn't get cars, See, folks, business checks your credit, all right, before they hire you. So if you got bad credit, you can't get a job, especially in Ohio. Can't get a job. They won't hire you. They look at your credit. If you got bad credit, like student loans, they won't hire you. They just won't. So, couldn't get a job, couldn't get a business loan, couldn't get a car, couldn't do anything. And them student loans was held over my head like a sword of Damocles, literally ruining my entire life. So yeah, the guy's got a vendetta, a big one, and it started way back before I was even an adult. And you say, well, Bon, what in the hell is that? What does that all mean, buddy? I don't know. I do not know. I wish I knew. I've been approached. I've been approached by the authorities, behind the scenes. Like, what's this dude's major problem with you? I said, I don't know. I never associated with these people in Ohio. I never went around and hung out with them in Ohio. The only time I ever meet the pros would be at family reunions. That's it. And even at the family reunion, they wouldn't hang out with me. They're off doing their own damn thing. So what's up with that? Well, the only thing I can figure is that they didn't like the fact that mom and dad married each other. That's the only thing I can come up with. But now, why in the fuck they target me? That's not my fault. I mean, it's not my fault that mom and dad got together. That's not my fault. But I guess they see me as the epitome of everything wrong, you know? And so that's why they've targeted me from the beginning, from the inception. Now, who was it that manipulated my mother into leaving 2 blockages in my father's chest? A 100% blockage and a 75% blockage. And don't sit there and try to deny me that this shit didn't happen. I was right fucking there when her and the doctor were talking. So don't sit there and say I didn't hear this. I was right there when they said it. 100% blockage and a 70. Left it in his chest, and guess what? Oh, he expired. Wow, what a shock, right? You leave a 100% and a 75% in somebody's chest, of course they're going to fucking die. Now, who was it that could have manipulated her into doing something like that? Well, the only person I know that has MK Ultra mind control technology would be the Frost. Because I sure don't. I have the ability to fight it. I have the ability to repel it. But I don't have the ability to use it. So my father dies in 2006, 2007. Just recently, just a few years back, my mom passed away. James Arnold Frost comes over here to the double wide and sits his ass down in that couch right over there and turns to my mother. I'm sitting there across the way watching, and he turns to her and says, "You need to call the sheriff and have Andrea arrested. She broke the law." Mom gets up, doesn't even ask any questions, doesn't turn to look at him funny or nothing. Just gets up, goes to the phone, grabs the phone, calls the sheriff, and hangs up the phone. And I'm just sitting there watching this shit in disbelief. Because it's one thing to hear about it. It's one thing to think about it. It's quite another thing to actually see the shit happen in real time. I watched this shit happen in real time. And she just gets up stone-faced and just goes and grabs the phone, calls the sheriff, just pretty as you please, plops back down in the chair. Not one question, not one inquisitive look, not one anything. Nothing. Blank stare. I thought, that's peculiar. Now, I didn't mind at the time because I knew that me and her had just come from the courthouse and that we hadn't committed no crime. So I wasn't worried about it. You know, I let it ride because I'm like, well, hell, we didn't break no laws. He's full of shit. And I think I might even said that. I said, you know, I probably even said that you're full of shit. We just come from, folks, if we had broken the law, then courthouse officers would have never let us leave the building. Okay. So it's fascinating. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, you know, even if he did get her to do that, it doesn't matter because we never broke the law. So we'll be fine. Well, I didn't anticipate what happened next. So we're sitting there waiting. Here comes the deputy sheriff. Deputy sheriff comes out, pulls into the driveway. Me, Mom, and Andrea go out there to meet. The kids are watching from the kitchen window, by the way. All 3 of them. So they're all 3 watching from the kitchen window. Deputy sheriff comes out, and he gets on his computer in the cruiser. And he's looking around. He says, "She never committed no crime." And at that point, Mom flies into a rage. I mean, a full-blown motherfucking rage. Blood red eyes, the whole works. Starts screaming at the top of her lungs, "I want her off the property now." She screamed so loud, I know they had to hear her at Rock Castle Church down the road there. They had to have. They had to have heard her. "I want her off the property now." Who does something like that, folks? Who acts that way? There's only 2 possibilities. Somebody that's demon-possessed or somebody that's under mind control. Pick one. I win either way. I win either way. Pick one. That's the only 2 options you got. Demon possession or mind control. Pick one. Because that was not normal behavior. No fucking way. And to be quite honest, I was afraid the deputy would arrest her, but he didn't. So she's sitting there screaming bloody murder at this deputy. And then finally the deputy, I guess, in sheer frustration, grabs Andrea and takes her off the property. My 3 children watched that happen from the window. They watched their mommy being handcuffed and taken off the property for doing absolutely nothing wrong. And that piece of shit down the road named James Arnold Frost was the one that did it. There's no getting around that. There's no denying it. There's no shirking it. They say, well, Vaughn, why would he break up your family like that? Because it's easier to get me off the property that way. It's harder than hell to get a family off the property. Ask any real estate agent. They'll tell you. Ask any real estate agent. It's harder than hell to get a family off the property. But if you can break that family up, then it's real easy to get the property away from somebody. But it's harder than hell to get family off property, man. Ask any real estate agent. So it was all by design, wasn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It's all by design. Every bit of it by design. And then now I take their fucking ass to court and I get back my inheritance. And I'm going to try to get back the kids as well. Hopefully I will. And we're going to fucking put this shit back the way it was before these frosts came down here and meddled in my affairs. Remember, folks, I'm handling my mother's finances before the frost came down here. I got an accommodation from the bank. I did such a good job. Isn't that amazing? But we're gonna make damn sure that everything gets put back the way it was before they fucking come down here. And they're gonna give me back every dime of my $32,141,500.52. Don't forget that 52 cents, goddammit. It's important. That 52 cents is important, goddammit. But no, seriously, what was done to my family should never, ever be allowed to be repeated again. Like I said on John's live show yesterday, I'm the poster child for online terrorism. I mean, I'm the poster child. Ain't nobody been treated like shit more than me. Nobody. I'm the poster child for that shit. So, yeah. Now it's time for me to fight back. And I intend to do exactly that. And I went and took my document. I went to an attorney, a local attorney. I said, check this document, make sure it's legal, make sure I can use it, blah, 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 blah. He went in there, went on his computer, checked everything, said, yep, totally legal. I'm like, all right, cool. So my document has been approved for use. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to fill it out. I'm going to turn it in, pay my fee, get it notarized by the notary. And then we're off to the Camptown races, boys and girls. Now you say, what is the significance of this? All right, we just saw Speaker Johnson give away another $17.5 billion to a foreign country while people here in America are wondering if they're going to be able to pay their damn bills. The Biden administration initially said that they would give us a stimulus check. They later reneged on it, as you remember. And then it's like, oh, well, we'll pay off the student loans. Well, they reneged on that too. And so now here we are with wondering whether we're going to be able to pay our bills or not, literally. Meanwhile, the Republicans, feigning ignorance, oh, well, we didn't realize that paying off the student loans would help you with your bills. Oh, really? You didn't understand that? Really, motherfuckers? You didn't understand that if you pay off the student loans, you can pay your bills easier that way? You didn't fucking figure that shit out? I would think that would be 101 finance. Anyway, enough said on that. And remember, boys and girls, under the financial Bible, human beings are monsters. Well, Vaughn, if human beings are monsters, who's the humans? Corporations, LLCs, that sort of thing. So you're a monster. You're a useless eater. You're a piece of shit. That's why in the financial realm, it seems like you're always spinning your wheels and never getting anywhere, because you are. You notice a lot of these people, the first thing they do, they run out and they get an LLC. Why? Because an LLC is considered a human being in the financial Bible. in the financial realm. And where does Donald Trump live? He lives in the financial realm. Donald Trump gets up on Inauguration Day, says, I'm giving the country back to the people. He emphasized it. He overemphasized the word, the people. Okay, well, in the financial Bible, people are corporations, LLCs. The government banksters are the people. Not you, not me. So Donald Trump did a fake out. He got all them people in the audience thinking that he's talking to them. He wasn't talking to them. He said he's taking it away from the politicians and giving it back to Lord Rothschild, his boss. That's what he said. And is my little dog coming back? I see the two big dogs. I don't know if my little dog's coming back, though. Oh, no, there they go. Well, the big dogs are taking back up again. Oh, well. Anyways. One nice thing about hot coffee is that it breaks up that phlegm you get in the mornings. Thankfully. Anyways. So, we're at a microcosm. You know, you just saw now what I'm going to show you next. Let me find it here. Because I stupidly didn't save the link. Or I saved it and lost it. Fox News. Now, are you sitting down, folks? I hope you are. Because what I'm going to show you next is going to blow your fucking mind. Allow ads. Okay, fuck. Ah, shit. There. All right. Anyway, reported Biden to pay illegal immigrants $450,000. Could surpass payments to some 9/11 and military families even. $450K per person are being considered by the Biden administration. Reported plan by the Biden administration to pay $450,000 per person to illegal immigrants who had been separated during the Trump administration could exceed the payments given to some families of 9/11 victims and Gold Star families. The Wall Street Journal reported Thursday that the Departments of Justice, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services are considering payments of $450,000 to those who crossed the border illegally and were separated from family members. It is in response to a lawsuit by civil rights groups. The payments could therefore amount to close to $1 million per family and $1 billion overall, although the Journal said that many families would get smaller payouts. Are you listening? Are you fucking listening? This dunderhead wants to give an illegal, somebody that came to this country illegally. Let me get up here. Somebody that came to this country illegally, $450,000. Meanwhile, they won't even give me my fucking disability and SSI over at Corbin. But they're going to give a fucking illegal $450,000 just because they got separated from the rest of their family during the Trump administration. Now, this is a lawsuit filed by civil rights groups, but still, $450,000. I mean, folks, do you realize how much money that is? That's almost $500 million, or $500,000. That's almost $500,000, folks. 500,000 is $500,000, right? Isn't that right? I mean, I suck at math, but I mean, at least I think I got that one right. Where's my $500,000? Where's your $500,000? Where's your $500,000? Where's my $500,000? What? Can you believe this? Can you believe this shit? But it gets worse. I want to go to my True Social page here, where I believe I saved it. I hope I saved it. I got this straight from AP Newswire. Okay, straight from AP Newswire. You're gonna die, man. You guys are gonna shit. You're gonna shit a brick. Let me find it here. Well, where the fuck is it? Scrolling. Keep them doggies scrolling. Oh, hi. Okay, that went too far. That went too far down. Let me see. I gotta find it here. I know I didn't. Hopefully I did. Well, shit. I'm not seeing it. Well, shit. Maybe it is below that. Hold on. Don't you love live shows? Let's see. Where the fuck is it? Okay, I'm not finding it. Shit. God damn it. I don't know why I'm not finding it, but I'm not finding it. Let me see here. Okay, well, anyway, I can't find what I said, and that really infuriates me. It must have been to somebody I had to block because they were being stupid. Let's see here. Yeah, it's not there. Fuck. All right. Anyway, I got this shit straight from AP Newswire, and the reason I was able to get it is because it was a fact check. They were doing a fact check because supposedly, someone had said they were getting 90,000, and all the illegals were getting 90,000, not just the ones during the Trump administration. And so the AP Newswire did a fact check on it. And turns out, no, they're not getting, every illegal isn't getting 90,000. However, what they are getting is $6,900, and $3,900 of that is every month, and then a one-time check for $3,000. Every illegal, folks, every illegal in this country right now is going to get $6,900, and then they're going to get $3,900 subsequently every month. Now, get this: the $900 is SSI. The same SSI that I've been begging Corbyn for years, they're just going to give to an illegal. $900 to $2,000, actually. Because if it's a family, it's more, right? $900 to $2,000 SSI. Did these illegals pay into SSI? I mean, isn't that Corbyn's excuse? Well, you never paid into SSI, so you don't get any. Well, wait a minute. These illegals never paid into SSI either, but you're going to give them $900 to $2,000? But you won't give me my SSI? Sounds like a discrimination lawsuit to me. Yeah, it does. But this $450,000. I mean, if Corbin wants to give me $450,000 and call it a day, I'll be all right with that. I can agree to that. So I'm going to be calling Corbin and seeing what they say about this shit. Because this is straight from the AP News, folks. This is not hearsay. This is straight from AP News. I forget how it broke down. Let me see if I can find that. I wish I could go through my history and find that shit, but I don't know. I don't know how to go through my history on that. I'm using, obviously I'm using Microsoft Bing. I'm not using Google anymore. So I don't know how the, well, there it is, history. Okay, hang on. Let me see here. It's just doing it for today. Tabs from okay, how do I do? I want all. No results. Okay. Okay, apparently it cleared my history. So, all right, let me see if I can find it. Ah, there's my other doggy. Floppy is back home. I don't know where he's been all night and all morning, but he's been gone. All right. Anyway, let me see here. AP News fact check. 6,900. Let's see. Whoops. 6,900. There you go. Let's see this. Okay. Okay, that's not. Okay, no. Well, son of a gun, that's the wrong. That's talking about Trump. I don't want to talk about fucking Trump. I want to talk about how much the illegals get. All right, let's try this again. What the hell? No, migrants do not receive 22 each month from the federal government. Okay, claim. The Biden administration is giving people who enter the U.S. illegally payments of $2,200 per month. AP assessment. False. People who enter the U.S. illegally are not eligible for federal cash assistance, with the exception of certain Cubans and Haitians, immigration experts told the Associated Press. Well, that's not true, but anyway, hopefully this is the one where they break the shit down. So it started out, trying to fact check, and it ended up being 6,900, 3,900 a month, and then a one-time payment of $3,000. So it ends up being more than $2,200, which I found ironically funny. Let me see here. Okay. Okay. Refugees Cash Assistance Program. Refugees Cash Assistance Program. Because remember, they're not illegals, they're refugees, right? Right? Yeah. All right. The amounts vary by location, but according to Gilat, the spokesman, I guess, under $1,000 for a couple, less for a single person. In Washington State, each person could receive $363 a month, while a married couple could get $459 a month. Okay, let me whip out a notepad here, and we will write that down. Okay, so that is. No, I don't want to give you my email address. Besides, you already got it anyway. Okay, so Refugee Cash Assistance Program, anywhere from $400 a month to $1,000 a month. Let's lowball it at $400 a month. Okay, what was it? 369, 363. But we'll round it up to 400, so it's easy to remember. $400 for refugee cash assistance. All right, then there's the temporary assistance for needy families. Okay, and that one is $2,000 a month. Okay, so 400 and then 2,000. Okay, so we're at $2,400 so far. Okay. Household with 3 children, $698 a month. For the smallest amount. Okay. U.S. Department of State also provides local resettlement agencies with a one-time payment of $2,375 per refugee. Are you listening? Per refugee. Because remember, they're not illegal immigrants, they're refugees. $2,375. Okay, so what is that? $2,400. Okay, so $2,400. $2,400. Okay, so we got 2,400 and now another 2,400. Although this 2,400 here is a one-time payment, so but still, we're still not done. Now this is AP News. Look at this. This is AP Newswire. Let me bring it up here. This is AP Newswire. Okay, that's where I'm getting it from. I'm getting it from the AP News. Let me zoom it in here. Where the fuck is it? All right, look at this. Refugees, people granted asylum, and certain other groups may also be eligible for supplemental security income. The very thing I've been asking Corbyn for years. The very thing I've been asking Corbyn for years. They're going to give to a fucking illegal, somebody that broke the law when they crossed our border. Now get this. SSI payment, $914 for an individual and $1,371 for a couple. So that's another $900. We're adding it to our list. There's the one-time payment of $2,375 per refugee. Because remember, they're not illegals crossing the border, folks. They're refugees. None of these programs provide a regular monthly payment of $2,200, and that they typically have strict limitations on eligibility and length. Okay, he's telling the truth. None of them are $2,200 a month, but by holy shit. Let me see here. How do I blow this up? There's no way to blow it up. Okay. Anyway. All right. So let me get out my trusty dusty calculator here, because I don't want to do it wrong. All right. 2,400 times 2 is 4,800, obviously, and then 900 on plus 900 on top of that. $5,700. $5,700 per illegal. Are you listening? $5,700 a month per illegal. Or wait a minute, I got to take 3,000 off that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. 2,400 times 2, 4,800, and then plus 900. Okay, 5,700 minus, what was that? 2,700. Where the fuck is it? Oh well. Anyway, let's knock 3,000 off of it. Okay, they're still getting $2,700 a month. Every illegal. Every illegal is getting 2,000. I'm going to save this fucking link. I don't know why I didn't save it the last fucking time. I'm saving it this time. Put it on my damn MeWe page. Ugh. There we go. All right. $2,700 a month. So it's over the $2,200 a month Tucker said. It ends up being more than $2,200 a month, doesn't it? Yeah. To put it in perspective, the $3,000 one-time payment they're going to give these refugees, aka illegal fucks, is more than the stimulus checks that I was getting. My stimulus checks was only $1,000. They're giving these fucks $3,000. But the takeaway from this is the SSI. $900 in SSI. And they never paid into shit. So when I call Corbin and Corbin says, well, you never paid in. Well, these fucking illegals never paid in either. And you're going to give them $900 to $2,000 a month. Or $3,000 a month. $900 to $3,000 a month, depending on how large their family is. Money, it's a gas. Grab that cash with both hands and make a stash. Anybody remember Pink Floyd besides me? Uh-huh. $900 to $3,000 SSI. And they never paid in. They're getting SSI. AP Newswire, folks. Not Von Helton's opinion. Not some conspiracy website. AP has left us. So you can't say it's a conspiracy website or it's those evil Republicans. You can't. AP's not right. AP's not to the right. They're to the left. All news in America is to the left. Has been for years. What do you think about that, boys and girls? Are you fired up yet? Folks, the amount of money we've given to Ukraine alone would have completely funded my modern-day maglev train system I proposed back in 2009 to Washington, D.C. It would have completely funded it. Yeah, but Bond, things back in 2009 were cheaper. Not that much cheaper. Not that much cheaper. Man, oh man. I'll tell you what, folks, if you're not boiling mad, you should be. That's your money. That's your money. That's your money. Going to a bunch of fucking illegals. And why are they doing this? Well, the only thing I can figure is they're doing it to get their vote. And then as soon as they vote, they're going to throw them out in the street like garbage. That's what John says. He may be right on that, too. $5,700 paid out to every illegal, no matter who they are. Now, they'll say, oh, well, we're not giving money to illegals. Well, of course not, because you don't consider them illegals. You consider them refugees. Nobody crossing the border. Folks, you'll notice the news media, and you'll notice none of these people are calling them illegals. They're calling them refugees. They're calling them asylum seekers. What was that? What was that one term they used a while back? Dreamers. You know, We're calling them dreamers. I got a dream too. How about you give me? How about you give me the 450 grand you're going to give to a fucking illegal? That's a dream I got, motherfuckers. I have a dream. MLK. I have a dream that you give me $450,000 like you're going to give the goddamn illegals. That's my fucking dream. How about that dream? I got a dream too. I'm a dreamer too. Give me the 450,000 you're going to give the fucking illegals. Hey, Biden administration, you got your ears on? How about a stimulus check to every fucking American for $450,000? You obviously have the money. You're giving billions to fucking Israel and Ukraine. Well, it seems to me like if you got that kind of fucking money, then you can give us a $450,000 check. Every fucking American should get $450,000 check. I mean, why not? If you're willing to give it to illegals and you're willing to give it to foreign countries, why don't you give it back to the people? Why don't you give it back to the American people? It's our money. It belongs to us. $5,700 per illegal, folks. Let that sink in, and that was straight from AP Newswire. So you can't say you can't use any excuses on that one because it's straight from AP Newswire. Man, oh man. You should be hopping mad right now. If you're not, something's wrong with you. Or you're not an American. One or the other. Ridiculous. Fucking insane. Now, you say, well, Vaughn, if you win in court and get your millions back, will the gods intervene and stop the hemorrhaging of money going out of the United States? Possibly. I mean, I've already proven with evidence that I'm a microcosm of what happens nationwide. So when I get my money back, it's very possible that all y'all will get your money back. And by extension, the rest of the world will get their money back. Possibly the end of the elite families. I don't know. I don't know how the gods work it. But I've noticed something happens to me, and then a very similar thing will happen to the state of Kentucky or to the nation or to the world or all the above. And I've noticed that. I've actually watched it happen in real time. And so I'm like, wow, that's fascinating. So we'll see what happens. But, obviously, I'm going to go to court. I'm going to get all my shit back, hopefully get the kids back as well, since they were illegally seized. And put everything back right the way it was before the frost come down here and threw a monkey wrench and everything. Now you say, well, Vaughn, do you have any proof of all this crap you said earlier? Absolutely. I've got the entire staff of Center Haven Nursing Home, and I got the entire staff of Helton's Nursing Home. And I'll just ferry them in one at a time to testify under oath. Hey, man, did Mom say that James Arnold Frost told her to sell those? Oh, yeah, I heard her say it. I'll just ferry witness after witness after witness after witness one at a time. And then when James Arnold Frost told Mom over the phone that he wasn't going to give her back her lawn equipment, he wasn't going to give her back her money, he wasn't going to give her back her guns, the house was packed and he was on a speakerphone. I'll start ferrying those witnesses in. I'll start ferrying those witnesses in. And they'll testify. Yep, he said it. I heard him say it on speakerphone. He said those words. Said, I ain't giving you back nothing. And then hung up the phone angrily. I ain't giving you nothing back. Click. So there you go. Well, where I come from, we call that grand theft. I don't know what y'all call it, but we call that grand theft where I come from. I ain't giving you back your money. I ain't giving you back your lawn equipment. I ain't giving you back your guns. I ain't giving you back your jewelry. Where I come from, we call that grand theft. You call it whatever the fuck you want. but we call it grand theft where I come from. So, are the Frosts in deep shit? You bet. Are they going to be able to wiggle their way out of this? No fucking way in hell. No fucking way in hell are they going to wiggle out of this one. I'm telling you, somebody ought to be calling CPS and tell them to get in that little silver minivan and going and getting my kids and bringing them back. You know, if my kids should suddenly turn up, say today or tomorrow, before I file, I might overlook the whole damn thing if I get my kids back. But nobody seems to be too eager to call CPS to go get my kids and get them back here to this house. So, looks like I'm going to be filing, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. Because I said that, what, a week ago? I said, hey, go give me my kids back, and I'll overlook the whole damn thing. But nope, can't do that. So, okay. Okay, I throw everybody in jail. Anybody that had any association with the Frosts at all is going to prison. Yeah, they are. Because I'm going to insist on it. And it doesn't matter because, the Frosts are going to squeal like little pigs anyway. Well, so-and-so helped me, so-and-so did this, so-and-so did. They're going to squeal like little pigs because they're not going to want to go to jail by themselves. They're going to want to take everybody that helped them with them. So they're going to squeal like little pigs, I guarantee it. They're going to finger everybody that helped them, everybody that had anything to do with the destruction of my marriage or the destruction of my finances. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Because they're not going to want to go to jail by themselves now, are they? No. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. But yeah, if today or tomorrow a silver minivan with CPS people and my kids in it suddenly shows up, either today or tomorrow, I might be willing to overlook the whole damn thing. You never know. Because at least with Jerry's $750 a month coming in, we can kind of survive on that a little bit. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going after him. I'm going to get all my shit. I'm going to get it all back. I'm going to get it all back, like everything back the way it was before the Frosts intervened, before these trolls intervened. Now you say, well, Vaughn, you can't bring your wife back. No, sadly, that's true. 5 mental conditions, folks. They were talking to her back behind my back on the other computer. I call it her computer because I was letting her have it, but letting her use it rather. But they were back there. I didn't know they were back there talking to her the whole time. Some guy named David Blount, and then Tammy Alexander, both of them on Facebook, sitting there filling her head full of shit. David Blount in a live Jay Stevio show says, yeah, I fucked her head up and I'd do it again. Completely unrepentant. So find his ass on Facebook and get him banned. Because that's what needs to happen. Actually, he needs to go to fucking prison for that shit. Destroyed that poor girl. Bless her heart. One day she's a fireman, and the next day she's a police officer, and the next day she's a college grad with a master's degree. They fucked her brain up good, buddy. Man, oh man. And then somebody planted in her mind the idea of killing her children. Gee, I wonder who has the ability to control people's minds and manipulate people's minds. No, do you know anybody that can do that shit? Now, who would have the ability to plant a seed in her mind to kill her own children? Who would do that? Interesting, huh? But yeah, I'm talking to her in the car, and somehow, some way, I ended up finding out that, that had been put in her mind. I'm like, oh shit. So I had to take her. To the hospital and tell them what's going on. I dodged a bullet. Somehow, some way, the gods revealed it to me, and I was able to get her out of here and get her to the hospital. Someone had put it in her mind to kill her own children. And I only know one person that has that ability, and it ain't me. Like I said, I have the ability to repel shit like that. I don't know how to do it. There's only one person I know that knows how to fuck with somebody's head. So now you figure it out. But they put a thought in her mind to kill her own children. And somehow the gods revealed it. And so I sent her straight to the hospital, buddy. I didn't even stop. I went straight to the hospital, pulled the orderly to the side and said, hey, she needs to tell you something. And I had her tell him, and his eyes got this fucking big. He's like, oh, well, we need to let you speak to somebody. We need to let you speak to someone. So I got her out of here just in the nick of time. They had planted that seed in her mind, and then they were going to spring her by using a keyword. And then as soon as they said a particular keyword, whatever that keyword might have been, she would have killed her own kids. I dodged a bullet, saved the life of my children on top of it. Funny how the trolls don't talk about that either. But that's okay. Nobody knows what's going on except me. And I'm going to make it right. And the gods are going to make it right. And maybe even my encounter-suited friends will make it right. One of their base ships was parked over my house again the other night. I wonder if they're still shooting at each other up there. I've noticed they park someone right over my house anymore. Make sure that nobody fucks with me, I guess. I don't know. At least till I can get into court and get this shit rolling. Hopefully make it nice and quick. Get my shit back right away so that I can get back to being a normal human being again. Because I tell you, this just barely exists and sucks. Okay? It sucks. And then, boys and girls, we see what we can do about these fucking online trolls wanting their lol suit. We'll get you your lol suit, don't worry. Now, it very well may be that we go after YouTube and Google first. I don't know. Seems like there's kind of hinting that... a little bit of hinting that maybe we go after YouTube and Google first. I don't know. Or YouTube and Google may fail on their own. I don't know. Did y'all catch Mark Zuckerberg in the Senate subcommittee meeting the other day? He got blasted. He got blasted by Democrats and Republicans. Apparently, a bunch of underage girls complained that they were solicited for sex and shown nude pictures. And these children were like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years old. And so Mark Zuckerberg was in the hot seat and had to publicly apologize to the audience that was there. I don't know that that'll do anything, but maybe it will. We'll see. But folks, remember, I said the pendulum's swinging back our way, and it is. And so, this victory in court that I perceive is going to occur will send shockwaves throughout the rest of the world and throughout the universe, I suspect. And then we all will win by default because the gods will make it so. The gods will make it so, and everything will be back to so-called normal, hopefully. And maybe even better than normal. But remember, the gods said they're going to restore the Great Republic. They didn't say they was going to restore America. They said, we're going to restore the Great Republic. Well, what the fuck's the Great Republic? That's what the founding fathers gave us. The founding fathers did not give us a corporation. The founding fathers gave us 50 independent states tied together with a central hub of a federal government about the size of a walnut. Okay? That's what the founders gave us. Founders didn't give us this huge megalithic federal government, Homeland Security and NSA and FBI and CIA and OSS and all this other shit. No, that's not what the founders gave us. But I am hopeful that I'm going to go into court. I'm going to get 100% victory. Well, I have to. I mean, he walked into court with with 2 fake documents. You know, why he wasn't arrested immediately, I do not know. But it doesn't matter. The point is that I can't lose. There's no fucking way I can lose this case. So, and then, like I said, the lawyers I spoke with, both the AI lawyer and the human lawyer, ironically, both of them said, make sure to get damages, penalties, pain and suffering. So, I'm going to get, now they said damages and penalties, but there's also pain and suffering as well. And so I'm going to try and get that as well. I'm going to get the maximum that the law will allow me. All right. But the lawyer was very adamant, especially the human. The human lawyer was very adamant about it. They said, if I'm your attorney, you're not leaving there without your money, your kids, damages, and penalties. Now, that's what the human lawyer said. And so I'm gonna try and express that to the judge that's what we're after. And then, like I said, pain and suffering on top of that. God damn, bug, go away! Fuck, I'm not sweet. I'm certainly not sweet. But yeah, this should hopefully reverse a lot of things and try to put the ox cart back the way it goes, with the horse in front of the cart, not behind the cart. Hopefully. Where are we at? Oh, an hour and 30 minutes, hour 36 minutes, 37 minutes. All right, well, an hour and a half. That sounds good enough for me. I can't think of anything else. But $5,700 per illegal. Per illegal. Are you okay with that, America? Are you okay with that? That's your money. That's your money. That $17.5 billion that Johnson just gave Israel, that's your money. That doesn't belong to the government. The government doesn't make its own money. It uses our money. That was our money. And all those billions to Ukraine, a fucking comedian, isn't even a real president. You heard the story about how he was doing a show on TV where he plays as the president of the Ukraine. Oh, wait, it happened in real life, didn't it? The literal interpretation of art imitates life. Is that a coincidence? No. No, it's not. No, it's not. Wake up, people. But is this the beginning of the end for the elites? I hope so. I hope so. And remember what the gods said. The whole trip, almost the whole trip there. I'm at Manchester Elementary, there in Manchester. I go up the hill, and then there's the school on the left. And then there's the federal penitentiary on the right. Well, the turnoff to it, as you're cresting the hill. And I crest the hill, and then that's when they're like, hey, no matter what the judge decides, you still win. And I'm like, what? If he takes my kids away, I lose. What do you mean? They said, listen, stop talking and listen. No matter what Judge Harris decides, you still win. I'm like, but that's impossible. How does that work? And they said, don't worry about it. You still win. And now I know. Now I see. I go into Judge House's court. I win. I get my kids back. I get my $32 million back. Plus damages, plus penalties, plus pain and suffering. And everything is restored. That won't bring back my father. It won't bring back my mother. And it won't bring back Andrea. But me and the kids will soldier on as best we can. But like I said, if today or tomorrow a silver minivan shows up and my kids crawl out of it with all their shit, I might be willing to overlook some things. You never know. I've been known to be a very generous individual, believe it or not. And if I should suddenly see my kids show up in a silver minivan today, I might be inclined to drop everything. You never know. Like I said, with Jerry's 750, we might be able to survive until I can get back in to get my disability and SSI and all that good shit. Might. I don't know. But I think it's interesting that, and these dumbasses say, oh, well, it ain't your money. It's Jerry's money. Hey, fucker. Jerry ain't 18. So who handles his money? Somebody's got to handle his money. Who the fuck handles it? The government? No, that's the last person you want handling Jerry's money. His father is supposed to handle his money until he turns 18. That's every family that does that, not just mine. But see, they had to say that to get the money away from me, And I already cleared it with Corbin anyway. I said, hey, can I use Jerry's money to pay bills? They said, absolutely you can. He has to live there too. And so, yeah, but they were saying, oh, well, you can't use Jerry's money to pay bills. Yes, I can. Corbin said so. So y'all are fucking liars, aren't you? Yes, you are. You just used that as an excuse to take Jerry and the kids away from me. His money, rather. His money and the kids away from me. That's why you did it. But yeah, Corbin already said, yeah, man, and he's got to live there too. So yeah, you can pay the bills. Well, if I don't see a ribbon round that old oak tree, I'll get on the bus, forget about us, and put the blame on me. If I don't see a ribbon round the old oak tree. But anyway, if I don't see a silver minivan showing up with my kids today, maybe tomorrow, I don't know. Let me see. Do I file tomorrow? I may file tomorrow. What's it going to be? What's it going to be today, Brain? Same thing we always do, Pinky. Take over the world. All right, let's see what we got here. Oh, shit. We're going into 60-degree weather today. It's going to be 60 degrees at 4 p.m. Going to be 48 at 11 a.m., 52 at 12 p.m., 56 at 1 o'clock, 58 at 2 o'clock, 59 at 3 o'clock, and then 60 at 4 o'clock. So, going to be 60 degrees today. Buddy, that sounds like a plan to me. So, I may just file today. Beat the Christmas rush. Or in this case, beat the Valentine's Day rush. I'm going to have a really nice Valentine's Day. Seems like. I'm going to have a really nice Valentine's. Because they're going to have to give me everything they got just to pay back all the money they spent. All them fancy cars, all them fancy four-wheelers with all the lights on them and shit. That's all got to come back to me. They're going to have to give me that shit or they're going to have to sell it and give me the money. Because it's all coming to me. Everything. like I've stated, I don't give a damn what Clay County does with the frost. As long as I get my money and I get my kids, I don't give a damn what they do. Because they've destroyed them documents by now. The World War II documents and the war bonds and the treasury bills and certificates of deposit. And there's still insurance policies out there. They give me the Frost did. I will say this: the Frost did give me some old insurance policies from years ago. And of course, where's the current ones? Well, don't know. Where's my truck deed? Where's the title deed to my truck? They never gave that back. I had to file a lost title to get tags on my truck. They wouldn't give me back the title deed to my truck. So, but that's okay. Everything's going to be made right. Everything's going to be put back the way it was before the frost came down here and before the trolls intervened. It's just a shame that Andrea can't enjoy it or my parents can't enjoy it. But maybe my kids can. And don't forget, boys and girls, my kids lost everything. They lost their childhood. They lost their father, their mother, both sets of grandparents. You don't think they're going to sue the fuck out of these goddamn YouTube trolls? Of course they are. Of course they are. And they deserve it too. They absolutely deserve it. Man, oh man. This should never, ever be allowed to be done to a family ever again. And everybody dropped the ball. I called Rand Paul's office. I called the FBI. I called CIA. I called Interpol. I contacted YouTube. I contacted Google. I contacted everybody I could possibly contact. No, we can't help you. Sorry, we can't help you. Sorry, we can't do that. Called every lawyer I could think of. No, we can't help you. Sorry. There's going to be a recompense for that. Guaranteed. Because 3 little kids' lives were involved. So there's going to be a recompense for that. I assure you. I assure you there will be. And not necessarily for me either, by the way. My kids. My kids have every right to sue the fuck out of anybody that sat on their fucking ass and didn't do anything. My kids are well within their right to sue those people, or groups, or corporations, or companies, or whatever. Government institutions. Some institutions are exempt from being sued. Gee, I wonder why. Gee, I wonder why. We'll see. We'll see how things go. Okay. Okay, hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. That was Candace. She called in. She's awake. See, 5 o'clock in the morning here is 5 in the evening over there. So it's kind of a. Anyway, I got to get out of here anyway. It's almost 2 hours. I've droned on long enough, but yeah, I'm gonna file either Monday or Tuesday, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna end this shit once and for all. And like I said, whatever the frost, whatever happens to the frost, I care not. But I am getting the Sester property. I'm going to get all their shiny cars, all their four wheelers, anything of value, because I know they've spent the 32 million, or they've got it hidden in offshore bank accounts or something. Larry said something about putting all the money in offshore bank accounts. Well, if they did that, that is an absolute admission of guilt right there. That obviously they're doing something corrupt. Otherwise, they wouldn't hide the money, right? Yeah. So obvious thing is obvious, right? But anyway, I'm going to get out of here. And but as usual, folks, trust in the gods of creation, the gods of freedom religion now, because we now have a name for it, freedom religion. So trust in the gods of freedom religion. They won't steer you wrong. They haven't steered me wrong yet. I get frustrated at them sometimes, but I mean, that's normal. That's normal God and human interaction, apparently. But I get frustrated at them sometimes, but they mean well, and they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they've got everything lined up how it's supposed to be and all that good jazz. So I'm trusting in them that everything will get set right. And they said numerous times, we're going to restore you. We're going to put you back the way things were before all this hullabaloo got started in the first place. So I'm looking forward to that. Now, I don't know what they're going to do about Andrea because she's a fucking vegetable, and my parents are dead. So I don't know what they're going to do about that. But they made it clear they're going to restore everything back. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, if there's anybody out there that got their tax return early and is feeling generous, they're saying that it's going to cost me $221 to file for court. So if there's anybody out there with deep pockets that's feeling generous, if you would, please consider my Cash App. There's my Cash App down there on the crawl. And consider helping me out, folks. I would really appreciate it. Anything you can do to help would be very beneficial. In fact, somebody has already said that when they get their tax return, they're going to give me $100. So there's 100 of the 221 I need right there. So all we need then is come up with another $100, $121. So anybody out there that wants to help out, I would sure appreciate it. Anyways, it is almost 2 hours, an hour and 53 minutes, 27 seconds. That's close enough for government work. So I'm going to get out of here and went, folks. But yeah, it's time to end this once and for all. Victory Day. Victory for Von Day. VVE, I guess, or VVD, Victory for Von Day. But yeah, time to end this. And now you say, well, Von, what if the judge is totally controlled by the Frost and doesn't let you win, even though you have to win? He doesn't let you win anyway. Well, then I just appeal. That's all there is to it. You just appeal it. I have that right as a citizen of the state of Kentucky. So I just appeal it. But I can't lose. I mean, he walked into court with 2 fake documents, a fake eviction notice and a fake will. So I can't lose. There's no way I can fucking lose. Even somebody that's mind controlled, that mind control can be broken if enough truth is levied against it. So we'll see what happens. Or the gods can intervene and just, prevent him from being mind controlled to begin with. But we'll see. We'll see how things go, But trust in the gods of creation, the gods of freedom religion, because that's who I'm trusting in. And they've got my back. And then my countersuited friends, they've got my back. And my doggies have got my back. And so, I feel pretty good. I feel all right. We're going to see how it goes. I'm trusting. Like I said, I get frustrated. Why didn't this happen earlier? Why couldn't I have gotten things done earlier? Why couldn't I have figured out the stupid name of this document faster? But it's always coulda, shoulda, woulda. You always have hindsight. So, anyways, I'm gonna get out of here and went. Y'all have a pleasant day and a better tomorrow. Bye.